back again today for another episode of our little airsoft tactics. So what we thought we'd do is show you we're at an area of our local site. Obviously we're not in the play areas because I'm not wearing goggles. He is, but that's cool. I'm going to show us the guns. So we'll start off with our small one. We've got a small little MP5 here. It's quite nice and nifty, quite light. It's good for assault because you can quite easily, quite manoeuvrable. You can quite easily rush with it. You know, you've got your extendable stocks for your, if you want to take longer shots. You have it all basically. So that's the first one. Next off we've got classic M4A1 carbine. It's a classic army one. I've souped it up with a wrist front. We've got a PQ box and a grip. Grip just providing that better accuracy and stability of the weapon when you're rushing. There's no particular reason for the PQ box, but I like them, so I got one. And I have Trigicon ACOG on it today. It's 4x zoom with the iron sights on the top, so if they do get close, and I must say it's a great piece of kit. It's good for assault because, well, you know, it's pretty much been the weapon that's been adapted to do everything from long range, CQB, anything you want really. I mean, it can just do it. And last but not least, we have this. It's a metal and wood M14. It's a custom built one. I've got a nice scope on it today, so what we'd also show you today is the uses of other players in your assault. So it's not great for assault, if we're honest, but if you're attacking on a straight line, there's a hill behind you. If that sniper's on that hill, he can quite easily cover those men on their advance, and also he can make sure the enemy team keep their heads down. So that's the and also let's not forget my little trusty TM M9 pistol, which I must say I enjoy very much. Okay, so as we promised in the last video, we're going to do basic firing positions. So what we thought we'd show first is the basic standing one. So obviously you've got your stance with the sight and everything, you know, you're there. When you're walking along, if you're just walking along normally, as well as making quite more noise than you probably would, when you're walking along just like this, look how much your gun's moving, because your gun moves with your basic movement like that. Which obviously, if someone does pop out of nowhere, obviously you want as much accuracy as you can have. So if you bend your knees slightly, they act as like a shock absorbers. So basically, you've got more of a stable stance. So you can just move forward, and your gun doesn't move. So all that time you have your eyes on the target. Obviously when you're firing there's not that much you can do apart from just your basic firing position. That doesn't really change, and that can be suitable for anyone. You can do hip fire on the shoulder, you can have it aimed in. It's your choice.
Okay, I'm going to show you the crouch position. It's quite different to the other two. This one, classic crouch. This has got many benefits that many of the others do not. For example, this one is very quick to get into. For example, straight down to position. Whereas standing, you're already there, but crouched, prone even, twice as long and twice as uncomfortable too. From this position, standing up, I've got a lot of fields of vision, but also mainly I've got fields of vision on me. So if I'm crouched, I've got still a lot of fields of vision, but they've got less of view on me, so they can see me less. I've got more cover around me, more protection, and a lot more camouflage too, which is also always helpful in these kind of scenarios.
Okay, so in here I'm in the prone position. Obviously, as much as in the assault video, it's still one of the key positions that you might be in. Now, problem with the prone is, as Lewis might have mentioned earlier, manoeuvrability is not big. Pretty much I can move over there, which is probably about my high left. I can't really get over to my far right or my far left. So my field of view also is pretty bad. However, I am the most concealed. Obviously, if you're rushing, you're going to be using cover to cover, but you won't be in this position very much. But maybe it's more as if you're advancing towards the compound, you might be using this position. Okay, so also what else we were going to say was, in this area where I am now, it's quite flat, so I'm going to show you me actually in the prone bit, showing that it does hide and it does work. I didn't mention that my legs are quite spread about a metre apart, I'd say. And all this does is just give you a more stable fire position for, especially as you see I have a sniper here. So obviously for aiming, you want that stability for your shooting, and as applies to any rifle or any shooting position or any weapon, whatever you want to use, it always applies. Now I'm just going to roll over into this bit. I'm just going to show you how well it does work. The fact is, I can see the camera right now perfectly from where I am, and I can quite easily shoot Lewis, who's behind it. In fact, his face is in my crosshair. There, and no more.
Stand up there.
No. Okay then, guys. Right now, what we have is we're at the well, kind of the top of a slight ridge, and over there, where that big tree at the centre screen is, there is an enemy soldier. We'll get Lewis to zoom in on it. Now, I am...
the enemy soldier's just at the bottom of this tree. There you can see a plate vest with an M4 on. Alright.
Okay, so what I'm doing right now is, as you see, I have the sniper, and Lewis here has the MP5. Show that. So what we're going to show was just the general intentions of how working together as a unit with another unit can work to your advantage in an assault. So what I would be doing right now would be, obviously there would probably be more than one guy, there might not be, but let's say there's quite a few of them over there. With the sniper, obviously, in realism terms, I might be sitting a bit further back, or even lying down somewhere with a ghillie suit on. Now the plan is they can't see me, or even if they can see me, I'm out of their range, but they're in my range, and they know that, or if they're not, they should be quite scared, or intimidated by the fact that there's a sniper up the hill. So obviously quite a lot of their attention is going to be on me, or the assault guys. So with me, I can keep their heads down via, if not pick the odd one off, with the sniper rifle, whilst Lewis there, with obviously he might have a few extra guys with him, can push up to them. And we're also going to try and show you tree bounding, hopefully in this video, which is what you bound from cover to cover, which is quite a useful little tactic to use. So whilst they're looking at me, he's going to move up, and we're going to try that. Okay, so pretend I'm in position here. I'm just going to be sat on this twig. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, I'm shooting them. Lewis is moving up to the first tree. Now he's down. Their attention is still on me. He doesn't have to shoot. He can if he wants to suppress, but they're more worried about my sniper bullets coming in. Okay, so now, bam, bam, I'm taking a few more shots. Okay, they're back down cover. Lewis moves up to the next tree, and he's getting very close now. Very, very close. So as you can see, what he did is bound to cover, so using the next bit of piece of cover for him. So he's still there, he's getting very close. The enemy guy's in his range, he might have noticed him. If he pops out now, I can still get him. So he's got that in mind. So he's got two people coming onto him right now, and that's got to be quite annoying for him. So if Lewis moves up again now, obviously I'm still got my gun pointed at him, obviously might be popping off the odd shotgun, and Lewis is just slowly advancing on the target. Obviously by now he's probably dead. If he's not, then Lewis can just rush in and take him. And that's that basically. That's just sort of trying to use cover to cover. We'll go over that again with bounding. Now, Another thing you've got to remember though is keep in mind the enemies might not stay static, and all you've got to keep your eyes open in the assault for how many there might be, because Airsoft is just a game, and when you die, whether they like it or not, you're going to remember how many are there, who they are. You might even remember their weapons. You might even say, oh man, that guy's got a sniper. Right, so when I'm next up there, I know I can rush him, because he's only got one shot, I have a whole magazine to take him out one.
Another advantage is, with having the sniper, they can also spot the people down there and relay that on to the attackers. So if they see they've got a heavy gunner and an assault man with a rifle of some kind, you can say what camouflage they're wearing, what guns they've got, and what equipment they're using. It helps the assault person just get that little bit extra edge on them.
All that little information does add up. I mean, you cannot underestimate the importance of intelligence in a way. Everyone goes, oh yeah, Airsoft is just a game, and you do find, even if you did a tightly packed formation, all your tactics sorted out, all your comms, all everything, people go their own way, or mates are going to get shot and that will screw everything up. And that Airsoft is just a game, but if you can get that little bit of intel, especially if you're doing something like a weekender, which is obviously over several days, then it will come into a great advantage using different units. Alright then guys, so we'll see you next video. We're actually going to show you the uses of these tactics that we showed you, the positions and the advancements in more detail, and hopefully we might be able to get a little bit of a scenario going on at the end. Alright, so we'll see you next video.